But it sucks that we can't like show it through the podcast, because when I looked up the painting that I was doing research on, it made me so uncomfortable. Did you guys see the painting? It's called The Hands Resist Him.
I think that was that the who somebody sent a painting. Was that you, Rachel?
Yeah, I have another painting.
No, this one
Okay,
was
so maybe it was the one. Oh no, I was thinking of the one Rachel sent. So I don't think I saw I don't think you sent it to us.
Wait, I'm gonna show you real quick. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, she back.
I don't even know how to take my lock off on this, because here. Okay, out. Thank you. That's very loud. I'm telling you, every like 0.2 seconds, she comes in here with something, and I'm like, bro, this is 3 times we haven't even started the podcast yet. Work from home, they said. Be a stay-at-home mom, they said. So anyways, on that note, welcome to another episode of the Ghoulfriend Hour. I'm your host, your ghost host, Morgan Feza.
I'm your co-host.
I am all of a ghost. Oh, we're all ghosts.
We're all ghosts today.
I need a fucking nap.
Yeah, I feel that. Jesus Christ.
I'm not even. You know what? Nobody gets an intro tonight.
We're actually all half of a ghost. All three of us pretty much make up half of a ghost.
We're all just here.
We're existing.
Hi.
But yeah, so today we're gonna bring you guys some of the world's most haunted objects, and then we're gonna have a fun show and tell session of all of the haunted objects that apparently exist out on the internet. So eBay, YouTube, Google, something your mother's ass, whatever. There's tons of listings. Yeah, your mother's mustache, all over the place. Like, there's just listings literally everywhere. Etsy, like, it's like the thing now, so it's so hard to like figure out what's true, what's not true. But in true shopper fashion, consumer fashion, I went by the reviews. I'm like, well, if this seller has like 5 stars, they're probably a legit haunted object seller. And then there's some people, like, I was reading the reviews, they have like 2.5 stars, and the people are like, I bought this doll and like nothing happened, and I'm pretty sure I got scammed.
What?
And like one guy was like, hey, this guy gave me a wizard wand with mine, and I was like,
is that like a,
I don't know,
like a saying for something?
I'm like, is that like a do-it-yourself project? Like, they give you a wizard wand, they're like, hey, you're gonna I'll give you the vessel and the magic, but you have to DIY this.
Because if I DIY it, it might haunt me. So I'm gonna let you DIY it.
Yeah,
I've heard about those like ghosts in a jar you can get. I heard on another podcast.
I have one.
Somebody said, no, you don't.
I have a ghost in a jar. Well, no, mine's not real.
Doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
I like how Taylor at first was like, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh. No, Taylor gave me a cute little ghost in a jar, and it says "Ghoulfriends Forever." That means forever, Taylor. That means till death. You're stuck with me.
Best friends forever. Ring.
Oh yeah. So all right. So Rachel, kick it off. I mean, do you have any true crime news to bring to us before we kick into
any true crime news? What are we feeling about them possibly releasing the Menendez brothers?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I've been following his daughter's page. I forget which one it is.
Did you guys hear that the mother and father's parents are coming forward to speak on their behalf, like the Menendez brothers half? Like they're
because they were freaking psychopaths.
Yeah, but they're like against their own brother or sister or whatever.
Well, and the thing that's crazy about it is like, who did I say this to the other day? Oh, I think it was when I had DSGI on. I was like, when you have people that are literally testifying against their own family, I really feel like that speaks volumes.
Yes.
You know, like, I feel like, I mean, that says, yeah, I'm like, that's just, yeah. I mean, that just speaks volumes. So I don't know. I think there's a lot. I mean, obviously we'll never know exactly what happened, but I think it's pretty nuts.
Yeah. All right. So this is my first cursed object. This is the legend of the Busby stoop chair, and this dates back to early 18th century in North Yorkshire, England. So Thomas Busby was a known criminal, and he was a heavy drinker. He ended up murdering his father-in-law, oh my gosh, after an argument. So the story goes that he strangled his father-in-law for sitting in his favorite chair. Like, what a snapped moment of, I'm murdering you because you sat in my favorite chair. So when he was arrested and sentenced to death, he cursed the chair, declaring that anyone who sat in there would meet a sudden and violent death. So since he was executed, the chair remained in the pub where he had strangled his father-in-law, which later became known as the Busby Stoop Inn, and named after the stoop or the gallows where he was hung. So over the centuries, numerous people who had sat in the chair reportedly experienced a fatal accident or mysterious death afterwards. Some say soldiers who sat in the chair during World War II never returned from battle. Others claim that the chair caused fatal car crashes, sudden illnesses for anyone that sat in it. So after a string of suspicious deaths, the chair was donated to the Thirsk Museum, where it hangs from the ceiling, so nobody could ever sit in it again. And the museum still displays it, and visitors can only look at it from a distance. So that is the chair of bad luck and mystery.
I mean, that seems pretty terrible.
Yeah. But they have to.
I mean, honestly, if the dude killed somebody for sitting in his chair, like at that point, just take it to like the wood chipper. Yeah, like don't let anyone sit in that chair from that point on. I mean, the guy's made his stance pretty clear.
That's gonna be like Matt with his freaking rocking chair.
100%. My husband will take that rocking chair to the grave. It's his mistress. I'm like, you know what?
Like those weird.
I'm like, when I'm an old like. Yeah, I'm like, when I'm one of those old, like, naughty ladies, I'm like, I'm gonna have a cabana boy, and he's gonna have his rocking chair. Like, that's like,
those like,
I'm like,
weird
that's
tables that people have that they prop them up and stuff. Just sitting. In that
oh
chair.
my god, I could see Matt being in his pajamas with his moccasins and like his rocking chair.
Sounds
like
right.
I cannot.
I like it.
We've like I feel like he's like burning a hole through our rug. Because that's all he does is sit in the rocking chair.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
100%. You're gonna see 2 like skid marks. I'm not.
That's how he's gonna haunt me too. If he goes before me, like I'm gonna be like in the living room as an older lady, and like I'm just gonna see the rocking chair start moving, and I'm gonna know it's him. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's Matt. That's his sign. I don't get a cardinal or anything. I'm just gonna feel the rock. I'm gonna see the rocking chair moving.
Yep.
All right. So don't sit in this guy's chair.
No.
That's object number 1.
Yes.
And I feel like England is always a really like freaky place like that.
Yeah. My second one's out of England too. Mine are from other countries, but it's just like these objects that it's like, oh, you can't do that or else you're gonna die. And it's just like, who determines that? How did he curse that?
But even in the Conjuring 2, right? Remember that dude had in the Enfield poltergeist house.
Yeah.
That guy, the older guy, he had that chair.
You know what I'm thinking about now that you say that? I wonder if they like correlated, you know, sometimes they put like different stories into movies. Like I wonder if maybe they took that story and put it into the movie.
Maybe because it sounds like it when yeah. Because it sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right, so hit us with your next spooky one.
Oh, me? I'm going again?
Go again. Yeah, we're just
Right.
what are we doing? We're just going back to back, right?
All right, so let's do it. So this is the Crying Boy painting. So the Crying Boy was a series of mass-produced paintings created by Italian painter Giovanni Pergolin in the 1950s. So the painting depicts a tearful child with haunting, sorrowful eyes that became popular in home decor. I don't know why you would have a crying child painting. It was a little weird. It was very odd. So they were produced and sold widely, appearing in homes across Europe and beyond. So this is like the curse part of it. The strange curse associated with the painting began in the 1980s in the UK. So firefighters reported that homes containing the Crying Boy painting often burned to the ground under mysterious circumstances. However, the painting itself would somehow survive the fire without a scratch, often found among the ashes, which is just, I don't like that.
It's freaky.
These instances gave rise to believe that the paintings were cursed and brought misfortune or fire to anyone that owned them. So some skeptics had argued that the painting was mass-produced on fire-retardant material, which would explain why, it could
Survive.
have survived. Others believed it was an urban legend amplified by the media and just to give fear in the public. But it's just why a painting? I'd be like, it's kind of weird. So the curse became so well known that many owners of the painting would destroy their copies or give them away, fearing that it would bring disaster to their home. So in 1985, the British newspaper The Sun even ran an article suggesting that people send their crying boy painting to the newspaper office for a mass burning to rid the curse. The belief that the painting's curse had endured, with some people refusing to keep it in their home to this day. Or just
That's
paintings,
spooky.
chairs. Why is it all home decor that's cursed and haunted?
That's weird. Taylor said she's gonna haunt a tampon when she's dead.
Shut the hell up. We're not going to talk about that. I wasn't working that night. We're not going to talk about that.
That's probably my favorite. We have to make a t-shirt with a giant ghost tampon. It was so funny though. It was so funny.
I don't know why that was the first thing that came out of my mind.
Because we were talking about, I could see why. Because we were talking about things that are just, odd. Just odd things that people would haunt. Because what was the person haunting?
Oh, shoot. What the hell was it?
It was a comb or something. I don't know. It was something
There's something ridiculous.
And then, yeah. And we were, just thinking of, absolutely ridiculous things. And Taylor's like, I'm just going to carry something around with me every day. Oh, because it was they carried it around with them every day until they died. So I think it was a doll. I think it was a doll.
Yeah.
But then we were imagine just carrying something super silly with you every single day until you die. And Taylor was like,
yeah.
Imagine just carrying around this tampon and then it's just a
Just
haunted
think
tampon.
about it for a second. What if all of a sudden you're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear woo coming from your crotch? You can't.
Well, you know what I pictured when you said that? Imagine it's not even your crotch. You just see a little white unused tampon just levitating out of your bag. It's I'm the haunted tampon. And it's I feel I'd say something stupid this is really odd. Do I get 3 wishes? I would be is this a 3-wish situation? Are you a genie or a ghost? What's happening?
Yeah. I'm whatever you want me to be.
Yeah. So we would. I think we should at the end of this podcast we should do pick an object. What would it be?
Mine's
To
already
haunt.
chosen, so.
You get to pick another one. You get a redo.
I don't know.
I got to think on that one.
All right, Rachel. Next one.
All right, my last one is the cursed phone number.
Are you gonna call it?
I'm not gonna call it.
I'm not calling it.
How about nobody calls it?
I was reading all these haunted numbers last night and I actually skeeved myself out because there was a couple where I was like, "This, I don't know."
But weren't you guys? Excuse me. Weren't you guys the same way as kids? Where or not kids, teenagers, where
Don't
you
even
look
bring up the haunted chain letters.
No, but I always
Oh my
got
gosh.
so intrigued by looking up all those different phone numbers. What number could be haunted, and then you'd call it, and either would work, or it would just be some stupid ass line. Be like, sorry, this phone, the number doesn't work anymore.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, were you one of those kids that you got the little chain mail, and it was the ring girl's gonna be standing by your bed if you don't send this to 10
hated
people in the next
those.
5 minutes.
I
Because we're
hated those.
superstitious.
Those used to
That's
scare
how
me
you
as a
knew.
kid. I'd get
That's
them
how
on
you
my
knew
little- my
you were
little flip
somewhat
phone.
mystical.
I did them on my little flip phone in the middle of the night, and my friend would send it, and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? Now I'm gonna have nightmares." Those were terrifying.
so
That was
sweet.
worse than horror movies.
I saw that meme
Like,
because we were literally just talking about this at work because they always do these like test emails for like phishing to make sure that you're not like a weak link in the company, like the staff. So like I failed 3 times. Like I failed all 3 times because like in all fairness, like I got this and it was like it like said something. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I should probably check into this link. And I clicked it and it was like, dude, you're not supposed to open these. Like this was a test for and I was like, yeah. that's literally what I felt like that for it was like Kanye West. He's like, gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
I literally just heard that in my head. I was like, damn. I'm like, all right, well, 3rd time's a charm. Because I was that kid that like I would get like the chainmail and I was like, I gotta send this to as many. My family probably fucking hated me. They were probably like, here this bitch goes again sending me this damn chainmail. And then like I saw this meme and it was like if you used to send the chainmail to like 5 of your friends, so that you didn't get haunted, you're a witchy bitch now. And I'm like, well,
shit.
I was like, well, you're not wrong. I'm like, you're not wrong. Well,
That's true.
Yeah, kind of.
Wait, were there people out there that didn't send it?
And they're just
I think
normal?
my friend did. I think I had a couple of friends that were like, Morgan, it's not real. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, have fun. I'm like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll be sleeping through the night. Have fun with Lydia or whatever her name is.
No, because it'd always be like that same story of like a girl and it's like, oh, this girl, she got picked on and then she got bullied and then she got killed one day and now she's coming back and she's gonna haunt your ass if you don't send this to 10 people. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. Like I had friends who were like, well, I didn't do anything to her, so what's she gonna haunt me for? I'm like, for not sending the chainmail. I'm like, send it. Like, don't get us in trouble. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna send it. I'm like, I don't know if this is one of those things where we both have to send it since we're together, or if I don't send it, or if you don't send it and I do.
If I go down, you go.
Like, am I safe?
We're all doing this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna send it anyways. I'm like, because you're not taking me down with you, because you like to risk it for the biscuit. We're not doing that.
No.
And look at us. Now we're invested in the paranormal and the spooky.
No. All right.
All
so
right.
this is the kid phone number from Bulgaria. Thank God it's not here in America. So this phone number, 359-888-888, is rumored to be cursed. Over the years, this number had gained a reputation for bringing misfortune and death to those who possessed it. A strange series of deaths linked to this number has turned it into a modern urban legend, and people still believe that this number carries these curses. So several individuals who held the number met untimely and mysterious deaths, leading to widespread fear. Here are 3 notable ones. So these guys have such great names. So number 1 here, I'm not even going to try to attempt his name. He was a mobile phone CEO. And so he was the one that originally had the number. And he was the first victim. He was a healthy man, and suddenly he died of cancer in 2001. Some suspect that his illness may have been caused by a business rival. Others attribute to him having the curse number. And I'm just like, how is a phone number going to make you die?
It's got to be intention. So you know they say everything is intention. Like Ouija boards are intention. Like it's what you put behind it. How much you want to bet? Like that's how curses. I mean, true. That's probably how curses are made, because like you have to have like, you all have to like believe in it.
Yeah. So then the second guy, a notorious Bulgarian mafia boss, he owned the number after the first guy. So in 2003, while traveling in the Netherlands, he was assassinated at the age of 31. He was carrying the phone linked to the curse number at the time of his death. And during his assassination, oh my God, assassination, it was believed to be connected to his criminal activity, but the curse continued to build its reputation. So then the third man who had this number, he was a real estate agent with ties to the drug trade. And in 2005, he was gunned down outside of a restaurant in Bulgaria. And at the time of the death, he was under investigation for smuggling cocaine, but he also had the phone with the phone number. So the people that had the phone number reportedly suspended by the mobile phone company. And the company declined to comment on the more specific reasons for deactivating the number. But there have been you're not allowed to have that number anymore. So probably if we did try to call it, it would be deactivated.
That's because that person probably believed in chainmail, and they
Yeah,
were like, "I've seen
probably.
this before. I've seen
Yeah, but
this
I don't-
before."
I don't think we'd be able to get it anyways because it doesn't start with like a 973 or like it's like such a out of country.
You
thing.
probably
It
get like some
wouldn't
kind of
work.
charge, right?
Probably.
Probably.
So
Bro, imagine I did try and call it. Matt got like a $400 bill on our phone bill. He would be like,
Like,
"What
what's this
the
number?"
fuck?"
yeah,
And I'd be like, "I only called it for like 2 seconds."
must have been a butt dial.
Can you imagine having to explain that to him? Getting a $400 international phone call bill for
you calling it 888?
just fuck around, find out.
Just typing numbers in. What are you doing?
So a lot of people, associate to they led lives of crime. So but all three of them had that same number or had the number at some point during their life. So kind of odd.
I feel like that teeters because, like, as you were saying, you're like, "Oh, mafia boss. Oh, this guy was involved in crime.
Yep.
This guy was like," and it's like, I mean, their chances of getting killed were already pretty risky,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like,
But the phone number is the only thing that connected them.
yeah,
Crazy.
May or may not.
but it's still too risky to even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fuck with it. I would not fuck with it.
Ta-da.
Dude,
That was
My eyes,
that was it.
my eyes are like watering.
Morgan's falling apart.
I am falling apart. My sinuses are just like, I don't know what's
Prepare
happening
yourself.
all up here, huh?
Prepare yourself. Take a bunch of vitamin C and stuff because I heard that it's supposed to go up to the 80s this weekend.
Are you
over the next few
serious?
days. I swear to God, and I know that I guarantee you, I've got this feeling everyone's gonna get sick next week.
I literally I think my camera's helping a lot, but you can see I'm so inflamed in here and it's red and I have just been not feeling good and I'm like, dude, my eyes are watering, my ears are just not doing so hot. I'm a fucking mess. All right, cool. Who's up next?
Well, it's either you or me, Morgan. I'll go. I'll
All
go.
right, I'll go.
Oh no,
I'll
I'll
go,
go. No, I'll go.
Let's hear it.
No, do you want to go? Do you want to go?
I'll go because you always get the good ones last, so you go last because you smell.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Tay. Thanks. Just
Okay.
throwing
All right.
that in there.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, all right. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 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 So, all right. Okay. I had to pick. Now we talked about him a couple episodes ago, and I don't remember why we brought him up.
Proceed with caution, Taylor, because this one fucking scares me.
So we are gonna talk about. I'm gonna start
We don't
off
have
with
a
our-
good rap sheet together, okay?
No.
We don't have a good rap sheet together with spirits.
Okay, so this lovely little thing, so nice and kind, is called Robert the Doll. Okay, so Robert the Doll, this whole thing began in the 1900s in Key West, Florida. So this is situated in the United States. Okay, the doll was given to a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto, who was often called Gene, by, is it Bahamian, right? A Bahamian servant, I think what it is.
Yeah, Bahamian.
Who actually worked for the family. And there were apparently whispers that this servant was mistreated by the family and was well versed in voodoo or dark magic. And it basically led some to believe that the doll was cursed as a way of seeking revenge. This sweet little guy is about 3 feet tall. He's stuffed with wood wool, which that's okay. We love that. And is dressed in a sailor suit that
We
is
love
believed
that
to
for
have
you.
once. We love that.
He's
To
so
have once
cute.
belonged to young Gene. That's a little scary to know that a doll fit in a suit that belonged to a young boy. That just size-wise shows you how big he was. We love that. It's okay. We love it. The doll has a face that is both
All
childlike
shapes
and
and
eerie.
sizes.
We love it. with beady black eyes that seemed to follow anyone who looked at it. Gene was so taken with the doll that he had named it Robert after himself and became inseparable from it. Now, with the paranormal world, like how this plays into it, is that apparently strange things began to happen in the household soon after the doll had arrived. So neighbors have reported seeing the doll move from window to window when nobody was home. Gene's parents often heard their son talking to Robert in his room, and while that in itself isn't unusual, it was kind of alarming because sometimes they'd hear a different voice replying to him.
Oh, heck
Yeah.
no.
Gene's parents had
Can you
claimed that they-
imagine?
Bye, Rob. See you later.
I'd be terrified. But the parents claimed that they often heard loud crashes and found overturned furniture in the house. And when they asked Gene what happened, he would blame Robert. So he basically, the boy, Robert had, Gene had claimed that the doll was alive and had a will of its own. And visitors, like, I guess today, or no, visitors would come visit the family, like, over time. They would report hearing footsteps in the attic and a faint giggling sound when no one was around.
No.
And even at one point, Gene's wife, Anne, was said to be uneasy about the doll and even urged Gene to lock it away. So he must have had it even when he was an adult because his wife knew about it.
And we love that. We love that.
We
That's
love-
a healthy
yeah, we love
attachment.
Exactly.
that's
We love
good.
that.
Real nice.
I got a blanket. It's not haunted, but it's my favorite. And Patrick appreciates it. It's like my
Your
whoopee. So
blankie.
maybe that's just his whoopee.
Whoopies are okay.
Yeah.
We love that for
We
you.
love that. We love that. We love it. It's okay. And so apparently there's this thing. There's a curse of disrespecting Robert, and there are many tales of people who mock or disrespect Robert, which we are not doing. We appreciating
No,
him.
So cute. We love him.
We love him. People claim that at the museum they have had accidents, illnesses, and other unfortunate events happen to them after interacting with the doll without showing proper respect. And I do remember, if anyone remembers a couple episodes ago, we did talk about, what was it, like a story that had happened where
Mhm.
I think what was it, like a father and a daughter or a father and a son or something? And
They
something
have like an
happened.
apology letter like wall.
Yeah.
Like they created a wall where they keep all of the apology letters. Like because there were so many like people who like were like, oh, this isn't real, and they like are
like
super
I know that.
disrespectful, and
Heard
then like they're like writing into the museum, they're like, can you please read this to Robert? Like, I'm so sorry, make it stop. Like, my car's broke down, I lost my house, like my cat died, like just like one thing after another. And like, to be honest, I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, a little bit of bad luck. But honestly, after the shit that happened after my haunted manor and the amount of bad luck that I had, after that was like, I empathize. I feel so bad. Like, I understand.
And that wasn't even
100%
that
why there's-
bad compared to Robert.
No, it was just expensive, which was really unfortunate because I think my transmission going on my car was just. It was the fucking candle on the cake.
Right now, it's happening with my truck right now.
What?
Robert haunted my thing. My
Dude.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
We
like,
love
it's just
Robert.
series of unfortunate events, but I empathize. I'm like, I understand why there's an apology wall because,
Robert, fix my
Yeah.
my transmission.
like, please make it go back to normal. This is very costly. But yeah, there was something like that though. I forget which story because there's a
Yeah.
ton of stories. But there was something where didn't they like take something?
I think that might have been the dad and the daughter or something, or the dad and the son, because they did something they weren't supposed to, and then they came back and they like wrote an apology and stuff. I think it was like a
and they
Reddit
like
story we had heard.
they like tried to make amends because they were like knee deep in the shit. Yeah, was not good. So that's why I always like approach this topic with the utmost caution because I just got a new transmission. I can't afford another one. Okay, like this is a one transmission kind of car. It's gonna see one engine, two transmissions at this point. Okay, but I'm only replacing one.
And then
But
Robert
yeah.
had
The
his
only
car.
thing, the only thing I don't know, which I'll have to look Morgan, when you're sharing your stories, I don't think I saw where he is currently at right now.
Yeah,
He's
we're
still in
like-
Key
he's at a
West.
museum. He's at a museum.
Mhm.
I just don't know which museum, so I'll have to look and see because I didn't get that information. I know he's
I
at a
think
museum.
is still in Key West at the house that like he grew up in. I think.
Is it? Well, they said something about him being at a museum, so unless they turned the house into a museum.
They just let that little thing run around at night.
Yeah, of course, you know?
So
It's like kids.
the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida.
Mm.
East Martello. I wonder what's cool about the East Martello.
She's
We'll have
gonna
to
make
check
us go
that
on
out.
a trip now. She's gonna make us go.
Yeah,
on
we're
a
gonna go down a wormhole. Because we're gonna be like, what's this? What's this?
Mm, okay.
All right, so we got Robert. What other spooky things are you
Robert, we
bringing
love
to the
Robert.
table? We love Robert.
I'm gonna
Robert, we
save my better.
stand.
Yeah, we love Robert. Robert's so cute. I'm gonna save my favorite one for last because it gave me the heebie-jeebies. But we're gonna talk about the infamous Dybbuk box. So I'm sure a lot of
Oh.
people have heard about the Dybbuk box. My first information encounter of the Dybbuk box was watching the 2009 movie, The Possession.
Do you know
And I
I still
think-
never seen that?
Oh, you gotta watch that. It's so good.
Matt said it was
Well,
really good. He
it's
wants to watch
creepy.
it.
It's creepy. It's one of those good
I
creepy
love it.
movies where it's like it's not. I love it. It's not like trash. Like it's actually a good movie. My mom will watch that movie over and over again. And it's also got
Okay, I gotta watch it.
I forgot his name. He's Negan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. All right. So okay. So the Dybbuk box. Dybbuk box.
Oh God.
That's not a peace sign. What is that? That's a we holster that.
It was a pow pow.
That was a piece and a holster.
That was a single. That was like a single pow. This is like the Glock 2000. This is like the singular pew pew.
All right. Dybbuk box. Okay. All right. So.
All right.
Dybbuk
Okay.
box. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I don't have a current owner because there was various owners. I don't know why there would be various owners.
Rick said we're
Uh,
throwing gang signs.
Of course. Of course.
gang gang.
It was actually a wine cabinet. Now I don't. When I think of a wine cabinet, I think of like a
Like the
china
big
cabinet.
ones.
Yeah, like my mom has one of those at the at our house. So like that's what I think of. But I think a wine cabinet, if you look it up, I think it's like a small. I thought it was either like a tabletop cabinet or it was like a smaller cabinet, like something like from the 70s, where you see like those little cabinet type of things. But I think it was like a tabletop one. Just kidding. If I just read like one more sentence, I would be able to tell you it's a small wooden wine cabinet. Taylor doesn't read.
It almost looks like a jewelry box though. Like it's more like jewelry
Yeah.
box size,
Yeah. It's big. I'm
right?
just kidding. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw a picture and then it
Little box,
It went-
big spirits.
we love that. We love that. All right. Anyway, so it said. Okay. All right. Okay. It's said to be possessed by a malevolent spirit known as a Dybbuk from Jewish folklore. It was originally owned by a Holocaust survivor who claimed the box contained evil spirits. The object surfaced in 2001 when it was purchased at a an estate sale by a man named Kevin Manis. My speech is getting slower as we go on. I'm gonna start out. The box allegedly caused misfortune and illness for everyone who possessed it. Owners of the Dybbuk box. Maybe I should start talking like oh my god, what's that guy's name? Chill or whatever, something. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Please tell me you
Oh.
guys know who that is.
No, who is that?
Well, stay. He's some weird dude on, was it YouTube? And the way he talks, he's like, top 10 like ways, like top 10 Scooby Doobies. You know what I'm saying? Like he talks like so weird, and he's become like does all these like horror things. I think his name is Chill or Chiller.
You have to send him because I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah. Everybody always cracks up at his voice, and he's like, number 15. Okay, so. Anyways, owners of the Dybbuk box reported nightmares, strange odors of cat urine, and sudden unexplainable illnesses. Why did
Bro,
they
wait,
have
hold
cat
on.
urine?
Why did I just get your fucking message with that creepy ass painting?
We're gonna talk about that one next.
I was like, is that a real child?
no, we're gonna talk about that one next. That one's my
Okay,
favorite.
all right. Sorry, that scared me. It jarred. I was a little jarred by it.
You're
Just
welcome.
scaring us
You're
over here.
I got you. Electronic device. Okay, so electronic devices malfunctioned and several people experienced overwhelming feelings of dread. One owner, Jason Haxton, experienced several severe health problems, and his house was plagued with poltergeist-like activity until he sealed the box in a protective container. It is currently housed in Zach Bagans' haunted museum, not mansion, haunted museum
And it's
in Las
haunted.
Vegas. I'm over this tonight. But that's all I got about the Dybbuk box. That's all I'm gonna have to say about that. Oh,
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey,
what's
girl,
up,
hey.
Squeak? She's like, I just realized I can't hear anybody.
Go ahead.
Hi.
What's
Hey,
up,
girl,
Pip?
hey.
Say hi, Taylor and Rachel.
Hi, Taylor Rachel.
Hi, Taylor, Rachel.
Tell us something spooky.
They want to know what's spooky. Tell them something spooky. Tell them, what was that movie? What's that movie that scares you?
Mm.
Is it Mikael?
Hello.
Mikael Myers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My sister
All right.
likes
Is
that.
that your word? Are you
You
sticking
got
to
them
it?
Ninja Turtles? She got Ninja Turtles on?
Dude, she is on a Ninja Turtle rampage. We found these at Target today, so it was like a 2-pack. Show off your oh. All right. Well, apparently it thinks she's a green screen.
Green!
They think she's a green screen, so
Wait, tell me how my dumbass, instead of saying
That's good.
Leonardo, I was about to be like, oh, Luigi.
Oh. It's okay. I didn't realize I was like, I know it's like Raphael and like Donatello.
Raphael?
Yeah.
shouldn't have said
Donatello
it.
and Raphael?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
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 Can you tell us a really scary story?
Why?
Because we want to be scared.
Like, sounds like a wolf.
A wolf?
Oh.
Yeah, wolf, like some kind of bunnies. Like some kind of pig.
A
No,
wolf, a
she's
bunny,
making-
and
she's
pigs.
making
That does sound
predictions
scary.
right now about what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
She's telling
We
the
gotta put
future
more
right now.
chapstick.
Why?
All right, we gotta finish up this podcast. Can I set you free? Give me my chin. All right, go ahead.
She's like,
Go play.
bye.
Bye. I love you. All right, so that was our brief intermission. That was our scary story: a wolf, a pig, and some bunnies.
There it is. It's scary.
Very scary. It just leaves a lot to the imagination. What happened?
Fill in the
Why were they there?
She,
Fill in
she
the
just
blank.
told the future. She's got the future in her hands.
It's like the Three Little Pigs, but with some bunnies in there.
Yeah,
Sounds sus, if you ask me.
pretty sussy.
Sussy.
Okay, all right. Okay, so
Okay.
my last one, my favorite one, and I say it's my favorite because as I was researching this one last night, as I saw the picture, it completely skeeved
Did you have
me out.
nightmares?
No, but it made me super uncomfortable. Like, I kind of didn't like. So at night when Patrick and I get ready for bed, like, I lock the back door. I turn off all the lights and stuff. And I'm usually the one that's down here by myself doing that because he goes up and like helps take out the dogs and stuff. So I'm doing this all by myself, and I kind of just like scurried to my room because it made me uncomfortable. I was like, I don't want to do this.
It was like I'm gonna turn around and this little
Please.
spirit.
I'm always terrified something's gonna like. I'm always waiting to. No, I'm not waiting. I shouldn't say that. I don't want it to happen. But I'm always thinking that I'm gonna hear like little pitter patters of feet running at me. Like
Mr. Marbles?
Something's hiding in the corner or something.
Ugh.
Anyways, okay, so all right, okay, so
All right.
this is called "The Hands Resist Him" painting. So this painting It shows a young boy standing next to a girl doll with hollow eyes and a sad, downturned mouth. The doll is holding a strange device with wires coming out of it. But the eeriest part of the painting are the many disembodied children's hands reaching towards the boy through the glass panel of a door just behind him. And what's more disturbing than the painting itself are the stories that have happened to the people who have come in contact with it. So, William Stoneham or Stoneham, I don't know if it's Stoneham, it's probably Stoneham. He painted this back in 1972, and he was actually on a contract to produce 2 paintings a month for the Fane Garden Gallery in Beverly Hills, California. And it had actually been reviewed by an art critic for the Los Angeles Times. His name was Henry Seldes, and then purchased by the actor John Marley, who was known for The Godfather. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys this is because this is a very important reason. So we've got, We've got the art critic, we've got the actor, and then I think, was there one other person? No, I think it was just the 2 of them. The crazy part about it was that a few years after the painting, why you do that?
That's what I was
so
looking
scary. Oh my god.
I had to look at it.
She said, let me pull it
Jump
up.
scare.
What's crazy is that a few years after this painting got sold, the art critic Henry Seldes actually died. And then what was even crazier was that the gallery owner had died, and then in 1984, John Marley had died. The painting disappeared, not only resurfacing again until 2000 in a very bizarre posting on eBay, but the new owners were actually trying to sell it because they said it was haunted. So
Bro, eBay.
They had claimed that the boy and the doll in the picture would fight each other during the night, terrifying their 4-year-old daughter. They
What
set
the
up a
heck?
motion sensing camera, it gets worse, in the room for 3 nights and claimed they captured the boy in the picture leaving the frame and coming into the room, apparently fleeing in terror.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then
Absolutely
they actually...
not.
Some people were thinking that it was like a marketing ploy, but the owners had actually warned the buyers not to bid on the painting if they were faint of heart or unfamiliar with supernatural events. So more than 30,000 people visited this auction page, and many had reported just looking at the painting had made them feel ill or upset. The painting ended up being sold for $1,025 to a buyer in Michigan who reportedly keeps it in storage and refusing much bigger offers to buy it. But because of the internet sensation, Stoneham came forward with what inspired him to paint such a haunting scene. He said that the boy was actually himself, and it was modeled on a photograph taken when he was 5. He said that the title comes from a poem written by his then wife, which read in part, "The hand resists him like the secret of his birth." That's crazy. Oh, and then what was it? This is what was really creepy, was that this is why I don't like looking at it too much, but in present day, why you do that? Why are you trying to make me piss and shit in my pants? I thought that was, not you. I thought it was something else. I'm gonna lose my mind. Y'all gonna
You
make
literally
me
looked
lose
at
my
a
mind.
deer in headlights. You were reading. You're like,
what? In 2016, a man named Darren Kyle O'Neill published a dramatized account of the notoriously haunted artwork entitled "The Hands Resist Him, Be Careful What You Bid For." O'Neill's narrative used the painting as a basis for a fictional tale about a serial killer known as the Life Swapper. Unsurprisingly, O'Neill
slasher.
has his own eerie experience with the sinister artwork. So this is in his own words what I'm about to read. He said, "I first saw it online when I was living in Dubai. I printed it out and left it on a side table next to some other documents printed on the same paper, or the same printer with the same paper. Anyway, I went to Italy for a month. When I came back, the air conditioning had gone awry. Is that how you say it?
Awry.
Awry. Shut up. I don't know. That's a big word. Everything had green mold. So the TV, the bed sheets, my daughter's cot and clothing, all of my suits in the closet, and the documents I had all printed Like it all had green on it. But right next to them, the only thing that was perfectly untouched was the printout of the painting.
Ew.
So even if you print it, I'm not printing it.
I literally saved it to my computer and I'm about
Delete
to throw
it.
up. I'm deleting it right now.
Delete.
Get it out.
Delete.
I don't trust like that.
Yeah. So that is
Very unsettling.
the hands resistant painting. And when you look at it, it's just very unsettling. Like it just
Something about
looks
it.
I think
unsettling.
anything with like children and like the supernatural, like
Children and dark backgrounds behind them.
Mm,
with hands.
I'll be specific. Any paintings that look like that. Unsettling.
Yeah, I like opened my phone. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what did Taylor send to us? And I clicked on. I'm like, oh, like oh my god.
Yeah, that one terrified me the most.
Ugh, I don't like
You know who
it.
didn't terrify me? Robert, because he's such a sweetheart.
Oh, Three Souls Paranormal said, hey everyone. So did Tales from the Tombstone. They said, hey everyone on Instagram, but we missed it.
Hi.
So I just wanted to shout that out. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna freak me out a little bit.
Yeah, that was pretty spooky.
I don't know why I decided to like pick haunted objects for a night that like
Yeah, no, we're definitely gonna get
yeah
like something
on a
happening
night like
to us
tonight because like it's like a full
100%.
moon and
Oh my god.
I'm like momming it
Perfect.
tonight and
Don't speak it.
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
that's me on
Spectacular.
eBay right now. I'm like haunted doll.
No.
Spectacular. Give me 14.
No.
She's gonna tell you.
Taylor will never sleep over ever again.
Guess what I got,
Don't you want to
you
know
guys?
what's in it? Nope.
Show us something scary.
Mm-mm.
So
All right, scary.
I'm gonna leave my like longer one for the end. But I'm gonna do a quick one, which is Bela Lugosi's Mirror. So Bela Lugosi reigns supreme as one of the world's most famous horror movie actors. However, did you know that he had some personal interests in the occult? He was known to practice a form of clairvoyance that involved staring intensely at inanimate objects to receive messages from spirits. One of the objects of these clairvoyance exercises was a mirror that Bela Lugosi kept in his Hollywood Hills home. Bela's home was purchased by Frank Saletri, who was killed in his home. Bela Lugosi's mirror is now housed at a museum of haunted items in Las Vegas, donated after the niece of Frank Saletri inherited the mirror. The niece claimed that paranormal activity increased in her home after obtaining the mirror, feeling bites on her neck and seeing dark silhouettes reflected in it. I don't know. Mirrors freak me out. There's so many. I honestly think that like one thing I'll probably never buy in a thrift shop, no matter how, because I've seen some beautiful mirrors and I'm like, oh, they're so nice, is mirrors, because they just, I don't know, like I'm a little superstitious about them. Like I feel like if they can be used for scrying in like different cultures for witchcraft and stuff like that. Like I saw this TikTok, and whether it was like real or not, there was this girl who had posted that her crystal ball was doing some weird shit. Like she was like, my crystal ball that I have in my room, like she just leaves it uncovered, which first things first, this has nothing to do with the paranormal, but like you should just never leave a crystal ball uncovered, because if the sun does hit it, it will set your house on fire. So you should probably like jot that down. Cause seriously, it's like a magnifying glass, and like sunlight, it'll fry an ant. You know, you've ever seen that like in like ants or a bug's life, like yeah. So don't leave your crystal ball uncovered. It's just not good.
I'm telling you, it's
You
all
don't want to end up like
stuff.
Woody.
Yeah. I'm like, just don't do that. But getting back to mirrors, I mean, crystal balls, mirrors, black mirrors, all the whole 9 yards, because there's different kinds of reflective surfaces that are used for different cultures, different practices in witchcraft, hoodoo, you name it. So, but there was this chick, and her crystal ball was just kind of hanging out, and it was doing something weird, and a ton of witches, like I don't have a crystal ball, and it's probably best because I probably would set my house on fire. But a lot of these like women who practice witchcraft were like, hey, you should probably cover that. And like, not just for the fire hazard, but like for the fact that when people scry, like if you just have, it's like leaving like an unbound mirror in your home, or just like leaving a camera that anybody can tap into. They're like, they believe that if you leave this crystal ball or certain mirrors unbinded or unprotected, that people can scry into your life and into your home. So mirrors in many different generations and practices are believed to be an all-seeing eye. So I mean, look at old days. A lot of times, like we go to Gettysburg a lot, and they will tell you a lot of tales of mirrors. Another one was the Farnsworth house apparently has a cursed mirror in the basement area of the home, because it was said that there was deaths in the family and they were not properly covered at the time of death, and it believed that it was that they were trapped inside the mirror, which is there's a lot of ghost stories like that. But that's why back in the day, they always covered any reflective surface in the house, and they stopped the clocks. It was also, a superstitious thing. So this does not shock me. So I was like, well, this is a good one. It's a good teaching moment. Cover your mirrors and don't leave your crystal balls uncovered for both supernatural and physical dangers.
It's funny you say that, because I actually have like a body mirror right across from mine and Patrick's bed. And I always flip it around because I will not let it face us. They always say it's like superstition, but I believe it, that you should never have a mirror facing your bed, especially when you go to bed, because it's like a portal to like
don't.
world.
So
and
I'll tell you guys I'll tell you a spooky story, and I totally support you 1,000%, because so I told you guys, like, I think growing up in my grandparents' house, like there was an entity that like literally tormented me my entire life. It was the worst. It was the scariest. I still to this day think that's the closest to evil that I will probably ever touch in my lifetime. And I still like think about it often because this thing was such a piece of shit. And like, I'm just gonna put it frankly, because I'm not afraid of it now, but back then it was not knowing what I know now, and not having like boundaries, and not being as brave as I am. Like, it was really fucking scary. And when I started to kind of learn about protecting my space, and before I learned about closed practices, I would always sage my room. I would keep my space relatively bound and very like clear, because this thing used to scare me. And like, the night and day difference from when you would step, like it literally felt like you walked through a force field. Because once I started to protect my space, when I would go from the bottom stair, I would run up the hall, run down the thing, and like nosedive into my room. And when I would pass that threshold, I felt like I was safe. I felt calm. I felt like I was like, I can't be touched. I'm good. I'm fine. Never thought about the fact that I had a huge, like my room was really rectangular. And I had a dresser with a giant, like the mirror was like a huge arch mirror that went over the bed. So it was really big. And multiple times I would wake up in the night and that thing would be in my mirror just staring at me. And like, it was so fucking scary. And like, that was the only thing. Like, I didn't know about mirrors. I didn't know about like binding or any kind of stuff like that. Like, and I still don't really know much about that. I just know that you're really not supposed to have that across from your bed. But there was multiple times where I would wake up and I would see that shit in the mirror. It was so scary. And like, Maisie's not allowed to have a mirror in her room. Like, even when as a baby, like, it was cute. Like, everybody's like, oh, you should put like a cute mirror, like by like her changing table. And I was like, nope, because it faces her crib. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm superstitious. Like, so that like always freaked me out. Like, mirrors are just not my thing. And then me and Matt had that weird Gettysburg Hotel experience. And we both said that the mirror in there creeped us out because it was like it's like an oval mirror, but it had like the gold. It looked old. So we were like, no. So mirrors freak me out. And I 100% support people who do not want mirrors in their house or do not want them across from like where they're sleeping. Because, I don't know, because spirits and shit.
Spooky.
Yeah. So that's our mirror education talk. Thanks for coming to our mirror TED talk.
Thank you for coming to our talk.
That's hilarious.
And then, so the other story that I had that wasn't really like it wasn't something that's like super documented, but it always freaked me out ever since I had Bishop James Long on the podcast. Was he talked about, and it's on the show Legion of Exorcists, I think is what it's called. It's a really good show. It's a bunch of different priests kind of telling their experiences with like supernatural phenomenon. And we were talking about it while he was in filming. This was before it was released, and he was talking about a story of a like when I saw them on eBay, and they're called like pocket clowns or like pocket dolls. So they're only about like this big, and he showed a picture of it in the show, and it was like a silvery like little doll, and these people picked this thing up from an antique shop, and the lady was like very drawn to it, and the husband's like it's kind of weird, but okay. And she's like, all right, I gotta take this home with me. So they brought it home, and apparently this lady called Bishop James Long, and if this isn't like fact for fact, don't quote me on this, because I obviously wasn't there, and there's not a whole lot of like research to be documented on this, but there was she called him for a residential case, and she's like, I need your help. I think I have something that's haunted. Like, I need to get it out. Like, yada, yada, yada. So he said he literally pulled up to, like, the remains of, like, a mansion. He said, like, it was, you could see the, like, some of the walls left, but, like, where it was a giant mansion, he said, like, 85-90% of it was burned to the ground. And so she said, he said that she met him outside. They like walked up to the front, like where the front foyer area would be. And they kind of walked through like the rubble of the home. And the only thing left standing was this like metal bookcase. And it, or maybe it was just a bookcase. I don't know, but it was like some sort of shelving, and that was even decrepit and like singed, and perfectly sitting on the shelf was this clown doll. And she was like, ever since this thing like came into our lives, like their children were afraid of it. There was a lot of mishaps. And then she said like literally the house just caught fire and like burned to the ground, but the only thing left standing, and he said even the clown, he said it was hot to the touch, like it was literally like baked, like it was so hot. And he said there was little singe marks, but it was completely intact and unburned, besides like little singe marks here and there.
I don't know why that just made me think of Scary Movie with the clown. Here's Uncle Ray Ray. I don't know why that made me think of that. It just made me think of like a clown haunted and
I cannot. Ray, stop. You're going to make it mad. Did you ever see that one?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't give a fuck. No, but seriously, it was scary. It gave me the chills, because then what happens after he takes it is like what freaked me out. So he said, like, true story, he took this, he would do these talks, like he would do these education sessions with people on like the dangers of ghost hunting and people who like are dabbling. And so he went to this presentation, I think it was at a college or something, and he brought this clown with him, but he had it in a case, like it was in a case, it was blessed, like all these things. And he talked about this story. He told him the story about how it burned this whole house down. They know 100% it was this freaking doll, because it was the only thing out of, there was other dolls in the house, or like they were avid antique collectors, but this was the only thing. So it was just freaky. So then he goes to this, hold on.
Please hold. Some technical difficulties.
So, okay, so I'm back.
Okay, all right, so, okay.
All right, okay.
All right,
So he goes to this lecture, and he has this doll in this case, and he said he had just gotten this brand new like laptop, and was like, you know, hey, I think it was like a MacBook or something, and he's like, for all his presentations and everything. And he said the crowd was like kind of like egging him on. They're like, take it out of the case, take it out of the case. And he's like, no, I really think this should
Oh
kind
my
of stay in the
God.
case. Like, I really don't feel comfortable. And they were like, well, if it's, you know, if it's real, then like, and he's like, I just really don't know about this. So he literally said, he's like talking to the crowd, and he started to have, so he ends up taking the doll out, and he starts to have like
Peer pressure.
yeah, he took it out, and he started to see like hallucinations. Like there was like people's faces in the crowds like that, like changed. Like he said, like their eyes went black, and like he said weird,
Ew.
like it, yeah, really creepy stuff started happening. And he took his eyes off the doll for like a split second because he was like kind of distracted. And all of a sudden, everybody in the room were like, Bishop Long, oh my God. Like they started freaking out, and he turned around. His laptop literally like combusted, like up into flames.
The hell?
And like there was like witnesses for this. Like these people at this presentation literally saw this shit like burst into flames. And he said like the computer was totaled. Like it was, and he said he immediately had to put this thing back in the case. And like it's like clearly a very, very big fire hazard. But like, yeah. So that story always sticks with me. I don't know what it is. You have to actually watch it on I think that's what it's called, Legion of Exorcists. It's really good, and like the storytelling is really good. They have other priests on there that they told equally as creepy stories. Yes. Why?
Me too. Rachel, get out your suit. Get out your
My suit.
flailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get your suit up. Get
What a
entertained.
hilarious thing.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try and do this because
All right,
we're starting to
okay.
get antsy. But yeah.
Yeah.
So so that one always freaked me out because like I trust him, and like him telling me that firsthand and then actually watching that story come to life on TV was like really freaky. So like I highly suggest it's a show by Eli Roth, Legion. I'm just checking this. Yes.
Don't buy antiques or clowns. That's just my.
Yeah, the Legion of Exorcists, Eli Roth. Huh? No. He's working tonight.
He's not sleeping afternoon in the afternoon.
Oh, well, he's sleeping. He's gonna be sleeping later, maybe.
Now?
No. Can you go finish?
Ow.
Your belly's fine.
Mom,
What?
is there a monster in my closet?
What?
Is there a monster in my closet?
It's time to
What are you
move.
talking about?
It's time to move.
What are you talking about?
Like a ghost.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's totally fine.
Ah.
So how about that hoop diamond?
Mom, I'm going
Okay,
out
so-
the window.
All right, can you go get them, Ghostbuster?
Out the window.
Go get your Ghostbuster costume, or go. Why don't you go get the ghost then?
Why?
Cause you're gonna save me. You're like the Ghostbuster.
Like that?
Not Morgan trying to.
Talk
Not
Yeah.
Morgan trying to gaslight her child into
We're
being
gonna
the
put that-
protector of the house.
Don't bring me into this. That's between you and them only. That has nothing to do with me.
You got this.
There.
What?
Don't you
What?
dare. Don't tell me I'm going to be a Ghostbuster.
You're not.
No.
Hey, well, you gotta let me finish this podcast. So we can bake cookies.
Cookie?
Yeah,
I told them one thing.
yeah. Tell them one thing, and then you gotta go in your room for a little bit.
Like on here.
Okay. Tell them one thing. You gotta tell them something.
It better not be scary. Don't scare me.
Oh, you got a couple seconds. I'm taking it. Okay, good talk.
Farts.
All right, go ahead. Go play.
That was
No,
very
no more.
inspirational.
It was full of wisdom.
Some butt cheeks and
Get out of here. No butt cheeks. Get out of here.
he's rough and
Get-
big. She's like, get out of here.
She says something about butt cheeks.
What?
What did I tell you want to say? He
She's
smells
like, I gotta talk
hard.
about the butt cheeks.
No, I don't smell parts.
What?
Get out.
No, I said she smelled like a fart.
sauce under your butt.
Go. She's, I don't know, the fart and the butt jokes. All right, I got one more thing. Come on.
Mom, I'm going to
Look out the window quietly, please. All right. So let's get down to the Hope Diamond. So I was super fascinated. This is when it's going to go haywire because I'm trying.
She said no more.
All right. You guys want to show one of your eBay listings? Did any of you find eBay?
Oh shit.
Oh no, I have.
All right. I was like, I can put mine up,
Yeah,
and if you want to
I
read
saw
them.
it. Totally did.
Look here. This is. I can never do this.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
god. Come on.
I hate that there's a whole
Come on.
section on eBay for psychic and paranormal items.
Come on. Okay.
Oh,
Here it is. So this is what my little boy was. This is the crying boy. You can get him on eBay for $144. This is the one that was like burning people's
Ooh.
houses down. Why would you want this in your house? Like, look at that.
oh.
It's a little weird.
It looks spooky.
$144 on eBay. You can get him.
The one
Ooh.
listing that I have is like $800, and I'm like, bro, that's a little much for something that you want somebody to take off your plate.
Wait, hold on. I gotta figure out if there's a way that I could show. I just found one, and I need to show the whole page because it's disgusting. Wait, how do I? The fuck? Present.
Look, what's happening?
Okay, let's see if this works real quick. Oh shit. Okay, can we see this?
Ah!
Okay, so this is the haunted creepy boy doll hidden under floor and buried scary Halloween decor prop. It's $100. Okay.
What?
This is the baby. Okay, and there's a whole ass description. Wait, where's it from? Washington, United States. Okay. The description, it says, let me start by saying I don't believe in monsters under the bed, flying saucers, ghosts, goblins, or haunted dolls. But my wife does, and I'm starting to wonder too. Let me explain. This all started shortly after we moved into our new house. New to us anyway, it was actually built in the early 1900s. Anyway, while exploring the oldest part of the house, we discovered a hidden door in the floor that looked like it hadn't been opened in years. It took some work, but once we were finally able to pry it open, we found an old antique chest full of about 50 dolls, along with a book full of handwritten notes that told a story about each doll and its history, as if the doll was actually a real person. Ew. It was after this discovery and after we started bringing the dolls into the rest of the house that things started getting strange, and the dolls started getting creepier. It seemed like every time we'd put one somewhere, we'd find it somewhere else. The electricity flickers and goes off in any room that any of the dolls are in, and our cats will either hiss at the dolls or won't go into those rooms. And then there's the whispers and the weird noises. Anyway, we've had enough. We're selling the dolls, and my wife is making me include each doll's history so you'll know what you're getting yourself into. Good luck. And then this is the information about this doll. His name is Johan or Johan. He measures about 16 inches head to toe. He's a blonde-haired Johan, wears sky blue
Don't mess up his
overalls.
name, Taylor.
I said both, so I can't go wrong. It's a 50-50. And a white with blue dots turtleneck underneath. He is
Apple
the
bottom
inhabited,
jeans, boots with the fur.
he is the inhabited spirit of his owner, a young blind boy who tragically fell in a frozen lake. Having dropped him On the ice face down, it allowed the doll to watch the boy sink under the ice to his eventual frozen tomb. Oh! And these are the experiences. On one occasion, and for no reason at all, they were suddenly ice cold to the touch. Cats are scared of him, often found in coldest parts of the houses. Or did he make that area cold? And then one of the interactions was keeping him warm will increase chances of interaction. A sweet boy when comfortably warm. However, when left cold, it becomes increasingly difficult to access its spirit. If left cold too long, he may freeze you out. Ew.
I just hope
Absolutely
that
not.
their
I don't
first
like it.
is, let's
I don't
throw
like
the
it.
party away.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. I gotta show this real quick. Hold on. It gets worse. It's not even just one. It's not
Oh
even
wait,
just
there's
one.
more.
There's more. But wait, there's more. These are all the dolls. Well, that's not a doll. Those are dolls. Where'd the rest of them go? Did they only have 3 dolls? I don't like that.
I mean,
know.
only 3, but like that's
That's
enough.
4. There's 4. There's 4 now. What else? Can I look up dolls?
some titty lamps.
Oh, there's only 16. Okay, so does that mean that they sold? Wait, when did they? I just want to know when they put the offer up. Because it says new listing.
Oh my
But there's only 4 of them, and they said there was 50. I hate that they're selling nipple fixtures.
I
And then-
literally was just gonna be like, are they haunted? Like I was looking to see if they're haunted, like boobies.
Haunted
What was it?
titty-
What what did they call it? That guy call it on Vine? A
Titty
titty.
lamps. Titty.
Yep.
He called it
titty
a
lights?
titty
Booby light. I don't know. They're selling
ceiling
booby
titty.
lights.
That's what it was. Let me see your ceiling titty.
Ceiling titty. That's what it is.
Ceiling titties. Baseball memorabilia and haunted dolls.
There it is.
That's such a mix. That's a Chex
Disgusting.
mix right there of supernatural
think we'll know-
proportions.
Why someone would be like, "Oh, we found these creepy dolls. You know where we should do? What we should do with them? eBay. Right to it.
Gross.
Like
And sell them with ceiling titties and sports memorabilia.
they just needed to put some normal things in there. Like, oh, this is fine. It's fine. Like, oh, by the way, haunted dolls. Like,
Dude, it's like a Bennigan's in this shop. There's just a little bit of everything.
Can we talk about how the condition of it is used? Like, no, let's just put it as new.
It's actually a brand new doll with no history, but it's really haunted.
it's not haunted.
Gross.
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna show you guys.
I feel like we're gonna have to go update on that. We're gonna have to go back on that page and see if they ever update anymore because it seemed fairly new. Like they just put it up recently, and there's 50 of them, so there's got to be more.
Ah,
Ugh.
it's spooky. Yeah.
Ugh.
So, this is the haunted vessel doll, spirit, active, negative, paranormal, possessed, and I think its name is Kyle.
Wait, okay. I'm not trying to make fun, not of this doll, but if you go down underneath to the similar items, can we talk about how the right one looks like when you take a picture in like, was it the 50% mode? And it's
In the
like,
club.
yeah,
In
in the club, we all fam.
Fam.
these are crazy.
That's what that looks like. But this is so this lady had some pretty decent reviews. So I was like, all right, I'm with it.
Reviews.
I'll bite.
So it says her vessel is a porcelain doll that is approximately 14 inches tall, 9 inches wide, maybe. This is baby Kyle. I found her when I was visiting my cousin's gravesite. He was lying in the dirt next to the tombstone. It says I found her, but then it says he was lying in the dirt next to the tombstone next to my cousin's. The tombstone read, "We will miss you, baby." He was so dirty, like he was there for a couple of days before I picked him up. First off, if somebody's grave has like a baby, like
I'm not taking
you
that.
don't take that home with you. So I just want to say that, like, if you find stuff in a graveyard, leave it there.
Just a little souvenir.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, who thinks like, hey, let me just pick this up and like maybe it's not supposed to go home with you. But it
why
says
I'm
before I picked him. Says before I picked him up, I noticed he was almost smiling at me, but nobody was around to ask if it was their doll. I took the doll home and worked with him right away. I used the voice box. I asked him if she was scared, and he replied no, and he was pissed off, but that he would not tell me why. After I had him a few weeks, he opened up more, and I could sense a very angry child. He said he wants to injure someone, but I could not get out of him who. I wonder. Since having him, I would hear voices of children playing, scratching sounds inside my wall, electrical disturbances in my living room, sounds of things falling off of a shelf, the sounds of a big truck slamming on the brakes. Kyle works well with a spirit box, dowsing rods, and bullet lights. He comes in loud and clear, but most of all, threatening messages. Some are more intense as he jerks. I don't know what that means. I think Kyle is possessed with a very dark entity. I quit working with him when I started seeing shadows at night with a sharp object in their hand. He told us that he was drowned when he was about 11 months old. He knows who did it. He seems as if he's seeking revenge, and I believe that sooner or later he might just get it. I do not trust him and want to send him away for someone to work with him more in depth. Kyle makes some moves that are so scary, like tapping or touching your back in the middle of the night, and it seems like he is reaching out from under the bed. At times, I felt my bed sink down as if he had just sat down. And you may hear sounds of a baby crying and stop, and I have seen his eyes turn red at night. He is definitely a paranormal spirit doll that reads negative. He hates to be nice to anyone, but will communicate with his spirit helper sometimes as if he is a sweet child. Do not be fooled by him. He is not nice at all. I only recommend Kyle to go to an experienced person, someone who has other haunted vessel items. And then it says per eBay, I will not be responsible for anything Kyle does or does not. This is not a toy. Do not purchase unless you are 100% sure you would like to go ahead with the purchase. So that's the fine print.
Can we talk about how this baby is 11 months old and it's like causing chaos?
Oh,
Like just an 11-month-old spirit. It's causing absolute chaos.
yeah. Yeah, there were some spooky ones that I found. That was Kyle. There was actually one that's not a doll that like I was like, no ma'am.
No, thank you.
Yeah, don't answer that. Let me see. All right. Please, would you stop? Thank you. My goodness. All right. Please don't do that.
$55.
So, yeah. So this one's $55. Haunted doll, active spirit. His name's Archer. It says demonic. Please handle carefully. Occult.
Demon.
So it says the Archer is a vessel of immense negative spiritual energy. Please be careful. That is my computer work laptop. My work computer laptop. I can't even talk today. So it says Archer's vessel of immense negative spiritual energy. Her eyes, dark and piercing, evoke a terror that crawls under your skin, peering into the deepest recesses of your soul and often leaving you breathless. So we're starting off strong. The atmosphere around Archer is thick with dread. She is an incredibly fascinating doll, one that beckons those with a curiosity for the supernatural to delve deeper into her mysteries and experience her potent spiritual energy. If you choose to engage with Archer and seek to uncover her secrets, proceed with the utmost caution. Her spiritual energy is extraordinarily powerful and must be handled with extreme care. As much as it does not sadden me to part with her, I need to downsize. That's a weird. Okay, so as much as it does not sadden me to part with her, I need to downsize my collection. I'm getting married next year. I'm moving to a smaller home, so not all the dolls can come with me, especially the dark and malevolent spirits. I hope whoever adopts her will provide her the care she needs. So it says the phenomenon is physical breathlessness, emotional fear, dread, uncertainty, and psychological nightmares. Archer is stored in my spare room with my other malevolent dolls, and I feel I need to get rid of them quickly as they are feeding off each other and their energy is getting stronger. So yeah, so basically she just says if you are like drawn to them and there's a bunch of disclosures. But yeah, so that's Archer. Pretty scary.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's some freaky deaky ones. This is the one that I was like, okay, this is different because it's not a doll, but it's dark and scary. Like I actually kind of want to look it up. I thought like Rachel, this might be up your alley. It's a little true crimey mixed with paranormal.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't like it. So it says active spirit, haunted doll, negative rabbit, mother mischief, Disney Roger estate. So there's like a whole story to this. So it says part of Disney Robert's collection. In a box under his bed, this mother is sinister. She is valuable but not clean for regular selling. This set with the stamp on the back is over $70, but I would not feel comfortable selling it to someone who was just liking cute bunnies. The baby bunny feels different when you hold it. I think they are mean. My light on the steps to the basement has been shutting off as I go down them since I put these rabbit on the shelf over the steps by the redwood tree painting that belonged to Roger as well. Look at them. I am increasingly convinced of the goings on here, of that of the supernatural. Is it because I'm slowly splitting up their family? Roger created a world of possessed dolls, made their clothing, surrounded himself in a secret he kept from the world. Roger lived and died behind that door. I think he lured children with his huge Disney collection in the front room, while he hid the obsession of the possessed dolls behind his bedroom door. So it said, before you read, please understand that I have the authentication of the details you will read about here, and I have other items, including Annabelle that he made and a Raggedy Ann on my site, along with Antique Family Bible. So a lot of the items this guy has essentially came from this dude named, like, everybody knew him as Disney Roger Roberts. And no, Roger. So it's Disney Rogers. And some weird stuff happened with this guy. And when he essentially died, which we'll get to how he died, they found all this stuff and did like an estate sale, and it was creepy. So these items came from a bedroom full of mannequins, dolls, and devils. Picture a bed in the center of the room. Surrounding it are child-sized mannequin dolls. The rug was stained with human blood. The owner was deceased. On the ceiling over the bed, a movie played with clips of the Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist. It said, last fall, I stopped at a parking lot sale of an estate sale company. The next day, I went back and found the door locked and lights off. I started to walk away when an older man called out to me from the front door and let me into the small storefront. As the lights came up, it was filled with Disney stuff. Framed posters, costumes. As I went to find my cord, I noticed vintage mannequins in the corner. Behind them were animated ghouls and grim reapers, and I asked him about them, and he said it was part of the estate sale that had been in storage and time now to liquidate. I looked closer at the items, and as we talked, he eventually told me more details about the day they bought the estate. He said it was a blind acquisition, so they didn't know what they would find. He said the living room was packed with everything Disney. Excited to see what was next, they opened the door to the deceased bedroom. When turning on the light, it was met with music, and the ceiling was lit by a projector. He hit the other switch, and the room filled with light. In the dead center of the room was a bed sitting on a blood-stained rug. Whoa, that's awful, he replied. Not as bad as the rest of it, he described. He described the scene. The bed was surrounded by mannequins looking onto the bed. Several had been knocked over. There were more mannequins along the wall. They were mostly children. There were other ghouls too, as he gestured to the ones in his shop. It was easy to envision the scene as he described it. No way. He said then there was a red velvet armchair in the corner with dolls and others on the dresser. Chucky in a rocking chair, Raggedy Ann. And I asked about the blood, and he said the owner had fallen, hitting his head. He died there? No, he was like 80 and passed at the hospital after the fall. As we spoke more, the shop owner told me that the man was known as Disney Roger to the neighbors in church he volunteered at. I asked about the projector on the ceiling, and he was serious in his expression as he told me the movies being shown on the ceiling over the bed were horror movies, but just parts of them. You know, like The Exorcist and Chainsaw Massacre. When the light switch was hit, it would start. What the hell? I said, wow, was he a killer or something? And I will never forget. He said, oh, well, the neighbors seemed to love Disney Roger, as they called him. Obviously, they didn't know what was behind his bedroom door. It gets worse. He says later, a leader in his church stopped in the shop and commented to the owner that he recognized some of the Disney pieces. Yes, it was Roger. The church leader explained he knew him and that he worked for years at the church. We talked more before I left, and he told me to watch the auctions. He would have more mannequins to list if I was interested. Over the next few months, I bought several mannequins and things from the online auction in February as I went to pick up the kids, a group of manis I bought. I was greeted by the shop owner's wife. She explained the owner had taken ill with stage 4 cancer and they would be closing. Would you be interested in more mannequins or dolls? Her adult daughter groaned, "Oh, that guy?" She walked me to a small room. There were several more child-sized mannequins. Another customer came in and she left saying, "I was welcome to look in the boxes." This is all from Roger's estate. Immediately, I felt a stillness in the room. It was uncomfortable as the door closed lightly, as she could be heard greeting customers. I remember the bed and blood-stained rug. Did they come alive and bash his head? Who lives like that and watches murders on the ceiling to go to sleep by? It was very eerie as it all sunk in, and I connected all the mannequins, the dolls, the sewing machine, the movie on the ceiling, the blood. He believed in the spirits each one holds, and he seemed to have parented them into existence. I have done research to find the owner, and yes, Disney Roger. They were family names in the Bible, and I found his obituary online. It was chilling. In fact, he was a crossing guard and church volunteer. He was loved by his children. Oh, he was loved by the children, it said. So now I'm ready to share the story to those who appreciate these things. Do they hold evil, bad vibes? You picture the scene of his life. He obviously was deeply immersed in them. His obituary showed no wife or children. I have more of his estate I will put on my site and will make mention of Disney Roger so it will be known they belong to him. So basically, he said in the last sentence, he felt really uneasy around them, and people just have said that there's a lot of like negative vibes, but I just felt like the story was, tell me that's not creepy and like uneasy. Like imagine finding this like 80-year-old man who everybody like, they nicknamed him Disney Rogers because he was this like Disney loving, super sweet, like
Gross.
had all these Disney things, and then like behind his bedroom door he has a projector that like comes on when you switch a light that plays like these clips over and over, and there's like these mannequin dolls just everywhere. It freaked me out. That one, I read that and I was like, oh no. I'm like, there's a reason why those bunnies freak me out.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Wow. What a good one.
So that one was scary. That one freaked me out. What is my aunt's like texting me and I'm like, what is she saying? Oh no. She said how is she on my live? She said my goddaughter's on our live right now. And she said, is she gonna sleep tonight? I'm like, no. Like, I didn't know she was on my live.
Macy's little face just popping in the back. I'm
It's just the face.
yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, so and then I had another one, but it's just more of like they were just talking about how this lady had a bunch of dolls in her attic, and like they just are super duper active. And like they started having severe nightmares, cold spots, things moving or disappearing. I'll just show you the picture because it was freaky deaky. I figured since I'm not going to talk about the Hope Diamond because there's no time for that. But this is like the doll.
Oh no, nope.
I'm like, what? Like, what is it with the
You know-
pocket size ones?
It's giving me, hey guys, you want to go scaring?
Taylor, you're gonna get us haunted.
You're gonna get us haunted.
I mean, it's only $24.99.
That's a cheap
No.
haunting.
No.
So
Cheap scares.
yeah. So that's the freaky one. That one's a little freaky deaky. But other than that, I mean, this is a pretty good haunted objects podcast. I feel like we could even do like a part 2 to this. So I still feel like there's so much that's like out
There's a
there.
lot.
Yeah. So, oh, my aunt did bring up a good point. So I guess I'll add this in to tie things up. So my aunt was like, you should go to Carrie's and get pictures of his dolls. So our family has like this is really morbid, but we have like a family funeral home. Like it's like anytime someone in our family dies, this is pretty much where they go. So we've had a lot of funerals in our family. So like, yeah. So we have a long line of,
Yeah.
I'll be lucky if I see 70. That's what I'm gaining here. It's the average lifespan, I guess. So I'll be looking forward to Carrie's
Should beat
funeral home.
everybody to 71.
Yeah. Well, On that morbid note, so there was this funeral home, and honestly, like, I did love it because it was like super homey, and it was very, it was mom and pop, and I think that's why our family stayed with them for so long. But there was like like, it's big. It was like a big like Victorian house, and you, like, when you walk in, there's like the stairs that go upstairs, which I think that's where the family lives, and then there, like, he's known for having like these dolls. So like the dolls just like go up the stairs. Like they like kind of line the stairs, and then they have to the left there's a funeral room, and then to the right was the funeral room that we usually had like our funeral stuff in. And then you could walk all the way back, and there was like a middle section with like couches, more dolls, and like old antiques and toys, and then all the way back, and it was another giant room with like old Victorian couches and tons of dolls and old antiques and toys, like lots of dolls. So this is kind of like what he was known for, because every time our family would have like a funeral, they would kind of joke about it, because like everybody was like, dude, the doll just fucking moved. Its eyes just moved. Like they were like, no way. Like, and there was an air there. Like it was definitely creepy. And so like in the, like, if you're not going straight back, but you go behind like where the stairs are, it opens up to another big room, and there's an exact, I think it was an exact replica of the funeral home, but it was a dollhouse, and it was huge. And so like the dollhouse is really creepy, and then there's like old like farming equipment like hanging on the walls, and like, yeah, it was a lot of antiques, a lot. So a lot of our family members, like, they would come, and I remember me and my cousin, I think the earliest funeral I remember there was my Uncle Carmen's, and we were there, and me and my cousins were younger. I think we were like in 6th grade, 5th grade, and we were like back in the room with the dolls, and both me and my cousin were like, I don't know about this, like something feels a little off. And like we swear to this day one of those dolls moved, because there was like something, and we were like, what the fuck was that? And it was so freaky. Yeah, it was so freaky. And then another like aunt of ours, my aunt said you should go to Carrie's and get some pics with his dolls. They have stories. I'm like, yes. So I feel like that would actually be a really funny story. So one of my aunts was like sitting there, and they were like, I feel like the doll just like followed me with its eyes, because like she got up and like walked somewhere and then came over to tell us. She's like, is this place haunted? She's like, I'm telling you, that doll just like literally followed me with its eyes. And it honestly would make such a good podcast episode, even an investigation. Like, I feel like if we did an investigation there, it is spooky. And it's right in Lincoln Park, Taylor.
Oh, wait,
You know
how
Lincoln
far
Park
is
is?
that? Yeah, I
It's
know
not
it.
far.
I just don't know how far it is.
Like 20 minutes. 20, 25 minutes. I don't know. From Lake Hiawatha, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes. So maybe
It's only
30 minutes.
It's 25 minutes from me.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
Oh,
Okay.
why she whisper like that? She little creepy little butthead.
So
Uh,
yeah. Yeah. So that's another good little haunted object story, because it was super spooky there. And there was like times where like when the wake was over, because wakes are like usually at night, it's like 7-8 o'clock at night, and then it's like when the family, like us, like a lot of our immediate family, you'd get ready to like wrap things up, and we would like, you know, you go back there and you say your goodbyes, and it's like you're coming out of this funeral home, and a lot of it's dark because they're getting ready to kind of close up for the night and put things back. So like then you're like, oh, okay. So you're like, yeah, I was gonna how to say that. It sounds morbid. But like you're like walking out, and I just remember like the one time we were like leaving, it was like still like lit up, but the back rooms were dark because like there wasn't enough family for it to like take up all that room. So like I'm like looking back, I'm like, dude, I would hate to be the mortician or the person on duty, like, because I've read Reddit stories about people who like have closed up like funeral homes, and they're like, no joke, there's some people that like, depending on how they passed, stuff gets weird. What are you doing? That's weird.
That's the scariest thing of all.
Weird. But yeah, so yeah, lots of spooky stuff tonight. We will have lots of spooky stuff for you guys to oh god, I'm looking at all of our Instagram comments and I'm dying laughing because like I guess my goddaughter, she said, Momo, do not make fun of her. Meaning I was talking about Maisie, and she said the dolls are sold out and they're, I don't know what that means. The dolls are sold out and they're going on sale. Oh, my aunt said that was all Danny. And she said, yeah, I didn't pick the best episode to watch with Danny.
I is the funniest.
So yeah, so there's like, this is really funny. We have lots of spooky stuff coming your way. It's October, it's spooky season. We'll have something fun to bring you guys next week. You want to say stay weird? Hey, stay weird.
Bye.
Ooh, that was spooky. Say good night.
No.
All right, so until next time, everybody, thanks for listening to this crazy episode. But until next time, stay weird.
Stay weird.
Bye.
Okay, all right. Okay, bye. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Okay, bye.